Hello, and welcome back to the show. You know the drill, so much has happened since we last spoke, so grab your coffee and get ready because we're jumping right into everything that went on in Hollywood over the past week. As always, here's a recap of what you missed. It's all good news this week in Hollywood relationships. Lots of those we love to watch on the big screen are making big commitments. For starters, after a long battle with finding himself and letting us all in on who he is, Colton Underwood is engaged. The former bachelor is now set to marry political strategist Jordan Brown. The two made the decision while in Big Sur together last week and shared the news via Instagram on Monday. Everyone deserves happiness, and after a very public outing, it seems like he found his. And saying yes to forever is Joey King. Known for her roles in The Kissing Booth and The Act, she has dated very famous men, including Jacob Elordi, and now the 22-year-old is set to marry her boyfriend, Stephen Pete. Though he's not known for his on-screen roles, he is known well behind the camera, because he was actually the EP, executive producer, on The Act, which she starred in. And if you want to watch it, I highly recommend. It's streaming now on Hulu. And that obviously is the typical Hollywood meet cute. Finally, as we all know by now, 25-year-old megastar Sydney Sweeney is engaged to boyfriend Jonathan Davino. The news came after photos were released of her sporting a new red hairstyle and massive rock on her finger. They've been together since 2018 and have kept a low profile. And his family owns a big tech and packaging company, so he's not in the industry, which is really rare and interesting for someone like her who's blowing up so fast. I'm sure this news is breaking many hearts, but it won't change the time that you get with Sydney by yourself every Sunday during Euphoria. And even more good news in relationships, it's official. Sophie Turner is pregnant with her and Joe Jonas's second child. There were obviously rumors about this for a while because she wasn't really hiding her bump, but now we know for sure because she confirmed it. She is 25 years old, which is kind of scary because that's only a year older than me, and already a rocking mom to Willa, their 19-month-old daughter. She loves being a mom, and this also means Joe and Nick will be expecting around the same time. And with all these amazing headlines, we have to touch on those we lost this week. It was big news this week when we heard that New Girl alumni Ralph Ahn, who played Tran, passed away at 95 years old. Show writers say, quote, "He's really easy to write for laughs. It was Jake Johnson's idea originally. He texted me about it. We all thought it was so funny going into this year. I think one of the writers at the retreat pitched that his granddaughter would be a love interest to Jake, but Jake wanted to do something funny like that." Unquote. The two were very close on screen. He came from an awesome family, and though he spoke very few words in the show, he definitely is remembered as a beloved character. He made a big impact during his short time. Also this week, Naya Riveras' family have reached a settlement in her wrongful death lawsuit against Ventura County. She's best known for her roles in Glee, and the actress passed away in Lake Peru in 2020 while boating. All we know about the outcome of the settlement is the following, quote, "Through this settlement, Josie, which is her son, will receive just compensation for having to endure the drowning of his beloved mother at Lake Peru. Though the tragic loss of his mother can never truly be overcome, we're very pleased that the monetary settlement will significantly assist him with his life beyond this tragedy," unquote. So at least her son's being taken care of, and he's actually also being supported by her sister and her ex-husband. I hear that the two were close and great co-parents during her lifetime. Switching gears a little bit into some music and TV news, Dua Lipa is being sued for copyright infringement over her song Levitating. A Florida reggae band called Article Sound System claims she took the song from them. Their song is called Live Your Life and came out in 2017, obviously much earlier than her song, but her song ended up spending 68 weeks in the top 100. It secured a spot for the longest-running top 10 song ever by a female artist. And yes, it will be interesting to see where this goes, because if you listen to them both, it's not only the tune that's exactly the same, but the lyrics as well. And if you don't believe me, of course you can hear both by clicking the link in my show notes. Also, in a weird music TV crossover, Jack Harlow is set to make his big acting debut in the remake of White Men Can't Jump. At just 23 years old, he'll be filling the role that Woody Harrelson played in 1992, which is just another thing that he can add to his roster of amazing opportunities. Also, I am so excited about this announcement. I Am Legend 2 is coming to us from Warner Brothers, starring the OG Will Smith and Michael B. Jordan. You all know that I love, love, love Will Smith, and this is one of my favorite movies of all time. The only thing that I can imagine making it better is Michael B. Jordan's face. What's better is that the script is also being written by the same person who wrote the original. The first movie grossed $585 million worldwide. And you might be wondering what Will Smith will be doing in the second movie because he obviously died in the first movie, spoiler alert. Well, that's unclear. Either way, I can't wait to watch it. Finally, in TV news, HBO pulled Larry David's documentary just hours before it was supposed to premiere. The documentary was supposed to be about his life as a comedian, the highs and the lows, and was going to be a two-parter. But in true Larry David fashion, it wasn't HBO that pulled it, it was him. Apparently, he decided last minute that he wanted to release it in front of a live audience. And so it's just postponed until they can figure out what that means. Weird, but okay. Now for a little bit of random news. Congratulations are in order for Rebel Wilson, who's officially a U.S. citizen. Who knew that after all those movies, she wasn't already? But I know you're here for the juicy stuff, so after seeing the major support that Britney Spears received when she was speaking out about her conservatorship, Amanda Bynes decided to follow in her footsteps. Britney was so public, everyone knew about it, but not many knew that Amanda was going through the same thing, something very similar, at least. Her conservatorship has been going for 9 years, and she's only 35 years old. Now she's saying she believes her condition has improved and no longer needs to be protected. People reports, quote, Bynes' mother, Lynn, was granted temporary conservatorship over her daughter in August of 2013 after the actress allegedly set fire to a driveway. Now she lives by the beach, attends school, and is enjoying meditation and soul cycle classes, unquote. And Bynes announced her engagement to Paul Michael, a man she met at her former sober living home in 2019. Hopefully, there will be some good movement, some positive movement in this following what happened to Britney, and especially after her book comes out. And finally, for news we like to hear, Mila Kunas and Ashton Kutcher have vowed to match a $3 million donation to Ukrainian refugees. On Instagram last week, they said, quote, that there is no place in this world for this kind of unjust attack on humanity. And specifically, Mila said, quote, I'm proud to be an American. I love everything about this country and what it's done for myself and my family. But today, I've never been more proud to be a Ukrainian. Quoting the CBS article that I've linked in my show notes, the couple says that the money they're seeking to raise will go to relief that will have an immediate impact in supplying much-needed refugee and humanitarian aid to the area. Donations raised through their GoFundMe page that they set up will go to Airbnb.org and Flexport.org, which will be providing free short-term housing and organizing supply shipments to refugee sites. Within 17 hours of their GoFundMe being put up, they've raised over $3 million. And this is the support we like to see. That's it for this week's headlines. Don't forget you can read more details on each by clicking the link in my show notes. If you have any headlines you want covered or have thoughts on this week's, DM me on Instagram at MeganTheMorningPodcast. And I'll be back next week to catch you up on the latest pop culture news.